Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today, we're jumping right into the platform economy, and specifically the system behind the e-hailing apps you probably use all the time.
We all do.
Right. And we always see it from the passenger seat, but we want to look at the person behind the wheel. We've got some fascinating source material, mostly focused on South Africa, and it really challenges, I think, a common assumption.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out many of these drivers are incredibly educated, resilient people. We're talking graduates, former professionals, people who've run their own businesses.
Right, people who turn to e-hailing because of, say, high unemployment or after being retrenched.
Exactly, not just as a last resort.
And that one fact just changes the entire conversation.
Yeah.
So I think our mission here is to really unpack that tension. On one hand, you have this deep respect for the drivers as individuals.
For sure.
But on the other, you have this deep unease about the commercial model they're forced to work in. We need to see how the system actually treats them.
So let's start with the economics, with the money. The ads, the marketing, it all promises flexibility, being your own boss.
That's the big promise.
Yet the drivers themselves consistently say that even when they're busy and the passengers are decent, the numbers barely work.
And that's because the driver is carrying virtually all of the risk. I mean, they're on the hook for 100% of the operating costs.
What, like everything?
Everything. Fuel, tires, insurance, maintenance, and very often a really hefty monthly car rental payment.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the platform itself captures this huge, disproportionate share of the value through its service fees.
So wait, they're basically running a small business where they cover all the liability and costs, but they don't get to set their own prices.
They don't set the prices and they don't set the commission.
So what is the platform actually contributing beyond, well, the app itself?
Exactly. And that imbalance just gets worse when you start looking at inflation. The per kilometer rates they're paid often fail to keep up with, sharp jumps in fuel prices.
Which we've all been seeing.
Right. So this cost squeeze forces them into working these incredibly long days just to take home a modest amount of pay. Is that a 9 to 5?
So the economics are stacked against them. But who's the manager here? Who's enforcing all this?
Well, that's the thing. The manager isn't a person. It's the algorithm.
The algorithm.
Technology is right at the heart of this imbalance. It's become this invisible manager that decides everything. It sets the dynamic pricing, the fares, who gets which trip, and most critically, it could even deactivate a driver.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And from the driver's seat, these systems are a total black box. They're completely opaque. They see the result, a low fare, a deactivation, but they have no idea what the logic was.
Yeah.
It just creates this profound sense of powerlessness.
That's honestly a bit chilling, and I guess when you connect that to the whole narrative about self-driving cars,
Oh, yeah.
it adds another layer. It feels like platforms might see drivers as just a temporary inconvenience.
A stopgap until the tech is ready.
And if that's the view, there's very little incentive to make their working lives fair or sustainable right now.
None at all.
Okay, so knowing all this, what does better behavior look like for us, for the passengers? The source gives some pretty simple starting points.
Same here, simple.
Choose respect. Treat the driver like a professional who's running their own small business. Greet them by name. And tip when you can.
Especially on those short, low-fare trips. That's where the gap between what you pay and what they earn is just enormous.
A tip really can make a difference there.
It does. But, passenger action, as important as it is, it can't fix these deep structural flaws. That's where policymakers and the platforms themselves have to step up.
So what's the big ask for them?
It's all about transparency. We need to see how fares and commissions are actually calculated. We need mechanisms to review operating costs regularly. And we need a serious conversation about the employment status of these workers.
And the AI itself.
The AI has to be part of the solution, not just the problem. I mean, technology shouldn't just be used to squeeze more efficiency out of people. It could be used to model fairer pricing, to reduce those unpaid dead kilometers between trips, and to improve safety.
It's just so clear that the seamless convenience you and I enjoy really does rest on the shoulders of these incredibly resilient, educated people.
It does. They are capable people doing honest work inside a system that's just not designed to share power or value fairly.
So where does that leave us?
Well, I think if we truly believe technology should serve people and not the other way around, then we just can't be indifferent here. The real challenge for all of us is to push for a model where the benefits of all this amazing tech are shared fairly. It's not just for today's drivers, but for the future of platform work itself.